If you're like me and you've been looking for a solution to bring wires down from your roof that's reusable, repeatable, and future-proof, come along with us. I've got a cool solution to show you guys. I'm happy to announce that after 3+ years of testing, I am ready to bring Icotek to the RV and marine community and tell you guys that this is an excellent solution if you're looking to bring wires from the outside to the inside, regardless of their size or quantity. So you might have saw some Easter eggs in some of our installation videos where we used Icotek products in various installs. They were also featured in Mike Wendland's video from RVLifestyle.com where we installed a pretty high-end dual 5G system with a fixed mount Starlink dish. And that's kind of the example of where these things shine. If you've got a decent number of cables up on the roof, or you're looking to maybe add solar or something else in the future, you can build a future-proofed roof entry point with these products very, very easily. What makes the Icotek solution so unique, as I'll show you right now as I assemble one of them with a 7-in-1 antenna, is that split grommet technology. And what that means is that you can install these on cables that already have terminated ends or connectors already on them. If you've ever kind of dealt with one of these, just kind of your standard cable grommet that adjusts to tighten around a cable, they're great, but you have to terminate the cables after they go through these systems to make sure that they're watertight. And that can really limit the installation applications. Plus, you've got to drill like 10 holes, and once you install them, you can't really pull the wires out and change them out. That's where the Icotek system really shines. So I've built this little demo box that has all sorts of different options on it that we'll go into in a little bit. But to start, I want to talk to you about this, which is kind of the heart of the Icotek solution. Now there's two things that come in every Icotek solution. One is a housing. In this particular case, this is a rectangle 5-slot housing. And two are these split cable grommets. And when you look at these cable grommets, you'll notice that they have a bit of slices in the side of them, and then they have hole cutouts in the middle at the diameter of each of your cables. When combined together, that's really where the magic happens. I'll show you quickly right here, just by opening one of these up. This is a 4-slot unit that holds 4 grommets. As you can see here, you drop these grommets right into these slots, creating a waterproof, watertight connection for all of your accessories. There's 3 and there's 4. And you'll notice, with what I just put together right there, each of those grommets has a different size hole in it to accommodate a different size wire. Starting with enclosures, we've got kind of 3 main flavors. We'll go through those right now. Now first we have our surface mount enclosures. So there's a couple different flavors here. You see there's a 4-slot, a 3-slot, a 4-slot that's in a different configuration, and even a 5-slot here. And these are really kind of designed to nicely go on the side of boxes. Spinning this around, slightly different flavor, we have our round mount units. You've got a 1-slot here, a 2-slot, and up to a 4-slot. Now the rounds can be very, very useful in that you just need a standard hole saw to mount these in a box like what you see here, and they're quite easy to use. Very popular. You don't have to get crazy with a flush cut or something else to cut out a square hole like what we typically use for these. We'll show you a little video of us cutting up this box in a little bit so you can kind of see what that looks like. All right, so moving on, what else do we have? We've got 90-degree mounts. So you see a 90-degree mount here and here. This is kind of the same thing that's oriented slightly differently. I wanted to show that to you so you can kind of get some ideas about some different stuff that you can do. Now, 90-degree, in this orientation on the side of a box, your cables are going to come out the bottom. If you have a very, very wet application where you think you're going to be exposed to a lot of direct pressure water, this down mount solution is going to put gravity on your side so the cables will come out the bottom. Now I can tell you personally, we've been using a side exit out like this on a 90-degree for quite a while. We've had no water issues, but you know, if you're a sea captain and you think this thing is going to be like basically submerged, a down application might be the way to go. As you can see here, the 90 is available in a 2-slot, smaller compact, a 3, this 4 up, and then we've also got an even larger 5 up, which you can see here, as well. It's also right here. Moving on to grommets for a second. There are grommets that are available in a single cable, dual cable, or 4-cable configuration. There are also blank grommets available if you want to buy a larger housing and future-proof yourself by inserting blanks that will not have any cables coming out of them on day one. All of the grommets are listed based on the diameter of the cables that will be used inside of them. This, for example, is a 6mm cable grommet with 2 slots. Now, we've taken the guesswork out of this. If you're looking at anything on our store, PepWave antennas, Parsec antennas, pointing antennas, all of those antennas, Wi-Fi versus cellular versus GPS, we have bundle kits for these, 5-in-1, 7-in-1, 11-in-1 that are all ready to go to give you exactly what you need. So don't worry about that. But if you have a secondary application, like maybe you're bringing solar in for the roof or something like that, and you want to get some customization going here, typically what we recommend to customers is that they pick up one of these, a small measuring tool, and what this can do is allow you to measure the diameter or the outer kind of edges of the cable to tell you the thickness, and it will almost always be right around 5, 6, 7, 8 or so millimeters, depending on the cable, and that will tell you which of these grommets corresponds to the cable size you need. Now, if you're not sure, you can always reach out to us. I can tell you that whether it's Starlink fixed mount, Starlink roam, cellular, blah, 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 we've probably seen it and we already know the cable size that you need. But what if you've got 3 cables and you have bought a 4-cable entry system? Well, Icotek's thought of that as well. As you can see right here, this is a plug, and they sell plugs for any size hole as well. So if you're interested in maybe future-proofing or adding a grommet that you may not need all the wires for on day one, you can pick up the grommet and the plugs, use those, and then when you're ready, simply pop out the plugs and put in the wires. All of the Icotek solutions also come with gaskets, and these are really helpful if you've got slightly uneven surfaces or anything where you're worried about marrying the bottom of the housing with your mounting surface. Now, in addition to that, these surface mount units, they do come with this as well, but they also have a rubber moisture barrier around here. So if you're dealing with something like a box like this where you've got a very smooth surface, you don't really need this, but it does come in the box just in case for whatever application you need. So when do I love my ecosystem the most? Well, you'd probably think right the day I install it and it all works. That's probably the second most. The time I like it the most is when I have to go up and change something. When I've got to go test a new antenna, or some new technologies come out and I've got to expand my system. The fact that I can hop up on the roof and pull apart one of these split housings the way you just saw there, and then grab access to these inserts and simply swap them out is just a lifesaver. It means that I can quickly change out the entire system without messing with the box that's on my roof and get whatever into the coach that I need to. Now, in some upcoming videos, we're going to feature an installation and a deeper dive analysis of a couple different installs we did, but the one for RV Lifestyle with Mike Wendland, we installed a box very similar to this one, just a bit smaller, and we used the Icotek products along with a 2-inch piece of PVC pipe that we brought into the interior of the RV. Now, what we really like about that install, and I'll show you some pictures here, is that yes, you get the Icotek benefit, but then that 2-inch conduit is in the installation, meaning that whenever you open up this waterproof box, you've just got a very easy way to run cables in, pull them out, and check on everything. And because that PVC pipe is raised off the roof approximately 1 to 2 inches and then heavily die-cored before it is screwed down, you've got a waterproof seal. And if for any reason there was ever any water in the box, it's never happened to me in 3 years using these, as long as you tighten them down properly and you use the proper grommets. If water ever did get into the box, it would collect in the box and not go into the interior of the coach because that pipe is sticking up, creating a moisture barrier preventing anything from entering the vehicle. It's a very nice way to do a future-proofed setup, and depending on the size or need, you can put in a large box like you see here. I mean, obviously no one would probably have this many Icoteks on the outside, although I've seen some of you solar guys who are pretty intense. But you can put whatever box size you need that's appropriate for your install and whatever housing and set of grommets you need, and you're essentially future-proofed. I mean, even if you went to, say, take everything out at a later date and you wanted to just leave the box up there, maybe you were selling your RV, just pick up 2 or 3 blank grommets, stick them in the system, remove all the wires, tighten it up, and say, hey, I've got a really great way to get cables down if you want. If you don't, it's waterproof, you never think about it. It's just a future-proofed way to get cables down in a safe and serviceable way that has worked 100% of the time for me on the road. Now there's a lot of different part numbers and accessories like we talked about before, but check out the links in the listing below. We've got a little landing page there that will help you with some of the basics so you can understand where to get started. But as always, you can simply reach out to us at info@mobilemusthave.com. You can start up a chat on our website in the bottom right-hand corner and speak to an expert right away. Or if you want to talk to someone on the phone, schedule a consultation at talk.mobilemusthave.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have more videos featuring Icotek. They are absolutely awesome products, and they are shipping now with everything you see here and more to add and more to come soon. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the road.